Greetings, Earthlings, wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers. Welcome back to WizdomDropz, your source for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. I am your astrologer, TONIA, and today we're talking about Uranus, and I'm coming to you from the soccer fields, and we're talking about Uranus, the most enlightening, awakening planet. In some ways the most spiritual, if you want to look at it from that perspective, planet. And let me just say, because that's so Uranus, you know what I'm saying? It's like some Xena stuff. But by the end of this video, you're going to have a better understanding of what Uranus represents in astrology, and also just, you know, a better idea about what it means in your chart. So Uranus is the planet of awakening, and it is known as the Great Awakener. It is a fairly late to the party discovery in astrology. It's actually not like among classical astrology or the most ancient astrology. It's a fairly new planet. So it's something that we only really know about in the context of modern astrology, okay? But to me, that doesn't take away the sacred meaning of Uranus. If anything, it just adds a different layer of understanding onto what this planet means and its place in the field of astrology, if you will. Coming to you from the soccer fields. So, I happen to have Uranus on my ascendant, so I feel like I have a lot to say about this planet and what it symbolizes. And I'll do a different video, actually after this one, about what it means to have a planet on your ascendant or on your rising. But Uranus is, as I said, the awakener, but what people don't always realize about Uranus, and I should say, it rules Aquarius, along with Saturn. Saturn is the classical ruler of Aquarius, which I just did a really dope video on Saturn if you want to check that out. It'll give you a lot more understanding on that planet. And I also did a really intense video on Capricorn recently, so you can check that out too. But, you know, being the ruler of Uranus in modern astrology, or excuse me, the ruler of Aquarius in modern astrology, Uranus is all about independence. And when I say the awakener, it's all about what people don't always realize, being ostracized to a certain extent. And not ostracized necessarily, but different. Being very different. When you have strong Uranus energy in the chart, think of the sign of Aquarius, and I'll do a separate video on that. But Aquarius folk are different. If there's one thing that Aquarius is, it's unique, okay? And so that's Uranus. Uranus is uniqueness. It is this awakening energy at a higher vibration of the most divine source, okay? It's also the things like lightning. So Uranus rules electricity. Uranus also rules things like atomic bombs, because it rules kind of like advanced technologies that are explosive and electric in nature. So Uranus has a lot going on. It's like the planet that rules earthquakes and lightning and instability and destabilization and social liberation and advancement and revolution and coming into a new era. It's epiphany energy. Uranus is God awakening. Uranus, when I think of what is it in a chart, it's your crown chakra. It's where you have a radical connection to the divine that nobody can touch because it's beyond. And that is Uranus. Uranus is enlightening. Uranus is awakening, okay? Those are the words that are associated with that energy. And for good reason. And for good reason. And if you have strong Uranus energy, say you are an Aquarius, or a double Aquarius, or a triple Aquarius, or you have Uranus on your ascendant, like me, or on another significant point in the birth chart, then you're going to experience this energy more intensely than other people. And you might experience it as being a bit of a symbol, a walking, living embodiment, if you will, especially if you have a planet on like your midheaven, okay? But again, I don't want to talk too much about that, but what I will say is that Uranus is the party that is the awakening party. It's not the let's get drunk and lost in substances and then pray to God that everything's gonna be okay. That's more like Neptune party, okay? But it's like, we're gonna go do something really rebellious, really revolutionary. We're gonna go out and march on the streets. We're gonna go out and stand up for our rights. And we're gonna go carry some lightning rods while we do it and pray that we don't get struck in the process. That's more the Uranus flavor, if you will, of divine connection. There's so many different aspects of divinity, and that's why astrology is so very useful, because it helps us compartmentalize this unfathomably large, vast body of energy that is spirit. And as the ancients said, we are far more than our charts. Our chart is only a drop of our identity. We are souls, and we are part divine essence that cannot be created nor destroyed, only transformed, as Einstein proved energy can be. So, Uranus is the rebel. Uranus is the rebel with a cause in its highest vibrations. In its lowest vibrations, it's just there to cause a mess and to stir things up and to shake up the oil and the vinegar in the jar, you know? It's an integrating and also a destabilizing force at the same time. But without destabilization, can we have stabilization? Can we have something sturdy that lasts? Saturn, if you haven't seen my last videos. Answer, no. At a certain level in life, there needs to be a death, and this gets into a Scorpio video I did recently, right? But without the death, there cannot be the new life or the new awakening or the radical electric consciousness that is Uranus. So Uranus is kind of like, in my understanding as an astrologer and a student, perpetual student of astrology, Uranus is the force that comes, the spark that comes into the ether from the place of death, from the place of silence, from the place of soul that is at a pause. From the top of the mountain, when you come to that point of clarity, the brilliant light bulb idea that comes to you after that, the angel in your ear that whispers things, okay? That's Uranus. Uranus is, it rules angels, it rules guides, it rules those on the other side, it rules those of our spirit tribe that we don't yet know and we may never know in the physical or in the auditorial, okay? But all of those beings who are with us, who guide us, who provide us support, okay? Those are ruled by Uranus. Extraterrestrials are ruled by Uranus. Whether or not you believe in them, I guess that's up to you. I think it's silly to assume that only we humans and all of the vast, incredible millions of species on this planet are the only ones in the entire universe who are alive. But hey, I just have Uranus on my ascendant, so maybe I'm biased. But needless to say, Uranus is the force that will awaken you. It is the force that will liberate you. It is the force in your chart where you have access to a higher genius, to a higher consciousness, to divine awakening, okay? That's Uranus. So I hope this video has brought you some value. If you want a reading from me, I'm available for those. You can reach out to me at WizdomDropz, all Z's, @gmail.com. And I hope that this helped you gain a different perspective on Uranus. I hope this helped you maybe appreciate it a little bit more. And I would like to know where Uranus is in your chart and how you feel that speaks to your experience as a soul. And if you don't know that information, I would just like to know your thoughts on Uranus in general and even this video. That would be cool to hear. So, what's your Uranus story? Tell me down below in the comments. Show us some love, hit the like button, little heart, whatever. And with that said, Earthlings, may the stars be with you. Peace.